What's up, guys? It's Royce. I'm here with another episode of 15 with Royce. And today we have a super special episode. This is the first time we've had more than one person on the podcast. The first time we've had any girl come on the podcast as well. So, super special. I had the pleasure of sitting down with Katie Pingel and Annie Williams, two professional footballers who previously played in Costa Rica, now awaiting their next opportunity with the current situation of coronavirus and everything. And they're super eager to get back out there. And it was a great conversation. So, please enjoy this super special episode. This episode is brought to you by Hummel. This podcast is brought to you by Hummel, and I have a discount code now. Use it. I'll put a link in the description down below. It's Royce, all capital letters. Go check it out. Get you a discount at Hummel, and enjoy your good products. So let's get right on into the episode.
My name's Annie Williams. I'm from Cottage Grove, Minnesota. I have played soccer since I was 5 or 6 in Little Rec League. I played soccer in college at South Dakota State, where I graduated and studied English education and Spanish. And this last year, played in Costa Rica until I had to go home because of COVID.
Nice. It's my turn. Do I go now?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay. Hi, I'm Katie Pingel. I am from Torrance, California. I started playing soccer when I was about 5 or 6 also, in AYSO, which is Rec League in Torrance. And I was in the national pools or national teams from U15 all the way to U20. I committed to college as in 8th grade to Santa Clara University. Left high school early to attend. Ended up transferring after a year, and then I went to Long Beach State for the last 3 years of college. And then I left college early to go play for Saprissa. Yeah.
Okay, and I'm going to just add this in just because there's so many different people that, don't know about, football, all around the world. So, Deportivo Saprissa is, a football club in Costa Rica, the biggest football club, right? I mean, I would say so. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, but yeah. Okay, so getting on into the questions now. What were the major differences that you saw within the football in the United States playing in the college years that you guys experienced, and also playing then professionally in Costa Rica for the biggest football club in Costa Rica?
I think just the style of play. In the U.S., the style is very direct and all about athleticism. And then when you go and play for Saprissa or a team that's more technical and doesn't really focus on the athleticism of their players, it just
Keeping the ball.
Yeah, the style. I like it. It's really fun.
Yeah, no, I've noticed the same thing. I think that in the U.S. women's game, especially in college, even in Division I, you can get by at almost any level at any division on any team if you are athletic and you have a little bit of technical ability. But once you get into the pros, and especially I want to say out of the United States, then the game is more technical and tactical, and it's about making good decisions and
reading the game more.
Yeah, more than just your athleticism and your ability to make up for mistakes if you do make them. So definitely.
Okay. So how does the training schedule and the training regimen differ from college soccer to the professional level abroad? Or does it differ? If it doesn't differ, that's fine.
Well, when you're in college, you also have school, so you're not as focused. I feel you're focused, but your day doesn't just consist of soccer. When you're playing pro, you wake up and your job is to play. Your job is to keep your body well and eat well and to just be ready to perform. And I think that's what makes it different. Is it's not you have any other things that you have to worry about. It's just soccer.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's your job. It's your life.
Yeah, like we would wake up and we'd have practice at what? Like
5:30 a.m.
5:30 a.m. because that's when it's like cool enough outside to practice, and we would have weights after some days, and you know, if we wanted to get extra work, we would have to go in on our own and do that. But
and we were at a special training facility that had like a chef there, so like he'd make us breakfast and lunch, so like you knew you're eating healthy and getting all the right nutrition, and so it was way different. I think
it was easier.
Mentality wise, like you were just only solely focused on like your performance and being ready.
Definitely.
Okay. So I guess, like, what is it like playing for the biggest club in Costa Rica in terms of, like, you know, I mean, did you guys experience kind of different treatment there opposed to playing college in the United States?
Definitely, yes.
Like, it was awesome. Even being, like, women players there, because the men's team is so big, like, we'd be wearing, like, our Saprissa jackets or whatever, and everyone would be like, oh, my God, you guys are the gringos from Saprissa. Like, they just knew us. And,
that's
like,
what's up.
Yeah, it was definitely a great experience. And, like, especially when I have friends that play in the U.S., and they're like, yeah, no one ever notices us, and, like, they just live normal lives, you know? And I'm like, really? Because our Uber driver recognized us when he was dropping us off at church. Like, it was just, like, cool. Yeah. Like, people would just, like, stop us.
People are a lot more invested in
soccer. Yeah.
And, like, especially, like, they're getting more invested on the women's side in Costa Rica. So it's honestly just really fun to be a part of that and have, like, people recognize you for your job.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know, that is cool.
Yeah, that's what's up. I mean, I know I experienced some of that. I mean, like, obviously, like, not in the States, but like, then, you know, having went to like Central America and everything and playing there and stuff, like, it was a great experience for me. And, like, it was really different. Like, after we'd win or something like that, like, people would just be like trying to buy you stuff and just take you out to dinner and stuff like that. Like,
yeah, people handing you the babies to hold.
Yeah, like,
like they were like, "Oh, my baby." I'm like, "What?"
You're like, I'm not certified for this. But
I was like, the baby's cute.
Yeah, you should have you should have signed him, you know, or her. But yeah, so like, no, but it was a great experience. And then when I went to go play in Sweden, Sweden was more like, okay, there's so many professional teams around here, so unless you're playing like in Allsvenskan, like the first tier, like it's like whatever. But there's still quite a few people that come out there that respect you. They're just not freaking out about it like it was in like Latin America and stuff.
Yeah.
But anyways, so just kind of like describe your experience with playing for Saprissa for a full season, and just kind of like, I guess how your season went, and just kind of how you felt about everything. That being your first professional season for both of you guys, right?
Yeah. So we were supposed to be there for 6 months, but due to COVID, we had to come back early because of, you know, everything was shutting down. So we only got to play, 3 games with them, 4 games?
Mm-hmm.
And we only got to play 1 game in the stadium because league was just starting. So we just played our first league game because the other games were like friendlies. And then we played our first league game, and then COVID happened like that next week. So then everything shut down. So it was a bummer. We didn't get to play like at all really with them.
Right. But we kind of, and I mean, I had been there the year before for like 4 or 5 months. I actually studied abroad there in San Jose, and then ended up, like, I just trained with Saprissa, and so it was, like, really cool to go back again this last January of 2020 to go somewhere that was familiar. Because I just I was familiar with Costa Rica. It didn't seem as foreign to me. I was used to the girls who were super nice. And I was kind of just like used to their like training schedule and what they did. But I think once we actually got there in January, we started to have like more of a set schedule, as in like times of practice didn't change every day. And everything was kind of geared towards the games. So that was like really nice, and obviously they take the games like really seriously. And when we went and played our first game, we actually had a good amount of fans, which was exciting.
Yeah.
And so I just feel like the experience overall, like you could tell that it was going to be a good one, and that's why we were so disappointed that we had to go home early because of COVID, because I think it had so much like potential, and the women's soccer game is really growing in Costa Rica, and so obviously both of us just really wanted to be a part of that. So
Okay. Yeah, I mean, did you guys have like a weird, like real quick, this is like not on my question list here, but like did you guys have like a weird flight on the way back, like nobody was traveling back?
So all the flights were canceled except ours. So we got really lucky because the next day after, like, all the flights were canceled back to like the state,
Okay.
to where our home. So like we got really, really lucky.
Yeah, for sure.
But was our flight crowded?
it was full. Like they were trying to like social distance everyone, but at the same time, like everyone was like, oh, gotta go.
Yeah.
And so we were all like piling on.
They wanted us to quarantine there till June, and so we'd be there like 3 months quarantining to like till like wait to see if season will start back up. And me and Annie were staying in this nice apartment, but like it was really hot and kind of small, and so
We just didn't like have anyone that was like super close.
yeah, and we were like, yeah, we're not gonna stay here for 3 months doing nothing, being trapped in this little apartment. Sorry.
Right. No, yeah, I left right before COVID, and I spent 5 months in Sweden not doing anything. However, when I had my flight on the way home, like nobody was coming to to the United States, and so it was just kind of like there was, I'm not even joking, there was like 15 or 16 people that went on like a full like flight to go back from the EU to the United States. And so it was like, I mean, like, COVID is a horrible thing, don't get me wrong, but like in that moment I was thinking to myself, COVID is on my team because I just got upgraded to business class for free. So I mean, dude, because there was nobody on there, dude, it was crazy. But and usually those are packed. But anyways, yeah, so like back to the questions here that I actually wrote down. Yeah, so like, would you, like, you guys yourselves suggest like other women footballers to pursue a career in Costa Rica?
Yes. If they're not scared for culture shock, like intimidated by it, because it definitely is a culture shock. Like, it's definitely different, but I think everyone should experience that. And I think it's just an amazing, because like it's different like off the field, but on the field, soccer is soccer. Like, you speak the same language, like everyone knows what you're trying to do. It's just, yeah, I mean, it doesn't matter wherever you go. If you're playing the same sport, like everyone speaks the same language on the field. So
Absolutely. And I would say Costa Rica, there's so many like Costa Rican born players that are playing in Spain and in other countries in Europe, and even in the women's pro league in the United States. And so it just has such a rich soccer culture that is like a perfect place to start and continue if you love it. And yeah, it's just a great place for development too.
And it's a great experience, like to feel like you're actually, living your dream because of how many people support it,
Yeah.
Right.
Like, it's like, wow, like, it's paying off. I don't know.
For sure.
I think it's so fun,
Yeah.
if you get what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, for sure. I think that was a great answer. And then you kind of like having touched before on like, like it kind of just being like, it developing quite a bit, like you said, and growing a lot, and people now starting to show a lot more support for it is an incredible thing. And I think a great experience. Obviously for you guys, it was a great experience. I mean, when I asked you the question before about like, like, did they treat you different? You guys were like so excited to answer that question. So, I mean, it sounds like they treated you guys pretty well over there in terms of like the support of of fans and just, your overall kind of experience there with people who support football.
We were the first international players to go to Costa Rica.
Oh, really?
So it was like really different for them, like, two really different looking girls, I guess you could say, and coming to like play there in Costa Rica, like it was like a big deal for them.
Okay.
And we didn't realize it until we got there. They're like, you guys are the first players we've ever brought to play. And we're like, what? And so it was really cool how awesome the fans were and so supportive and knew everything about us and how they just welcomed us. And it was nice.
Okay. So like this is a little bit of a different direction. I mean, we kind of went back from COVID and then kind of went to like back to football. We're kind of all over the place. But what has your training schedule been like since being in the United States? Because you guys have been back for a little while since COVID's hit. How is it kind of how is it now, and what are you guys doing to kind of maintain that level? And then how has it differed from your training sessions with the team in Costa Rica with Saprissa?
I think that obviously for many athletes during COVID, like the summer months and going into the fall and then this winter, it's been training has been a lot more individual focused and focused on improving individual skills rather than doing like a full team practice just because of the COVID restrictions and stuff like that. So I know that like me and Katie have really been we've been training together in smaller groups when it comes to training, but we've also been able to find some high level pickup and
with guys, and Annie would come to LA and train with me and get a different setting, environment. We'd be training on the beach in the sand and doing a lot of interval trainings and weightlifting. And then I would go to Minnesota because there's more pickup with guys and more individual private sessions that we get with some guy coaches. So we were just traveling back and forth, getting different things and
right.
Yeah.
And sometimes you just gotta show them what's up. Anyways, that was a joke. You guys didn't laugh though. I was talking about you guys playing against guys. You gotta show them what's up. Nah, but anyways, that was awkward. Anyway, so moving on to the.
I didn't even hear it.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Maybe I cut it a little bit.
Wait, what did he say?
Nah. I thought you guys just weren't laughing at my joke, and I was like, well, no career in comedy for me. But anyways, so are you guys this is another kind of more serious question about COVID. So I have talked with quite a few players, and I know I've talked with some older players. I've played with some older players, and they are a little bit worried, and some of them very much worried about COVID affecting their careers. And then me, as a younger player, I just kind of started my career and stuff. So I'm not really as concerned about it opposed to some of the 30-some-year-old guys I've been playing with and stuff that were playing at that professional level as well. So and just for you guys and women's sports maybe differing a little bit with, I don't know if it differs with age or no. I'm kind of ignorant about that, but just kind of are you guys with the age that you guys are now, are you guys concerned about COVID affecting your career, and just kind of maybe some of them people are worried about COVID kind of ending their career, and some people are kind of just worried about them not getting to play for, let's say, just 2-3 years normally. How do you guys feel about COVID, and how worried are you guys about it affecting your career and your future with football?
Personally, I don't think I've been taking it very serious, in a way where I'm thinking of myself and what it can do to my body. I think more about the people around me, my family or, they're my friends. But, I always thought, I'm healthy, I'm, young enough, I'll be okay, That's how I thought of it.
Right.
I was talking more I don't know if you misinterpreted, but I was kind of talking more of the delays, not being able to go back to, I'm not talking about actual COVID effects, I'm talking more COVID, effects on football. Yeah. I'm not talking about health and stuff like that.
Seasons and stuff?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah, I totally didn't catch that. Okay, so, yeah, for sure, it was, I honestly, it does suck. I hope it doesn't continue to cause more problems because what am I trying to say?
You want me to go?
Yeah, you go.
Okay, I feel honestly, for me, it's been more of a mental battle than anything because if we think about the time lost, it's been, less than a year at this point of time lost. And so it's a mental battle between okay, what am I actively doing to get myself in the best position possible to be ready when basically when my name is called and when the opportunity comes, or like, are we going to focus on how long it's been since I've played my last professional game? And so that's something that I've kind of been like going through these past couple months, is that like, okay, I can't do anything about the situation of COVID and, you know, it affecting my job, but the only thing that I can do is like focus on the things that I can control and that I can improve for my game, so that when I get the opportunity that I can go out there and crush it. And so like opportunity wise, I think we're still at a really young age and we're just starting off in our careers. So I'm really not worried about it being the end of my career.
Yeah, I mean, I think it is still like mentally like challenging when you think like sport, you have to like kind of start younger, you know, like put your like step like you have to start younger at like the professional level to like do your time, you know, and like make it, you know, to where you want to go. So that's what stresses me out, because like I want to be at the top, play with the top. So I'm like, okay, I need to do my time here, you know. So I'm thinking about it, and like time is ticking, and it's like I need to play games. I need to, you know. So that's really frustrating for me, actually. So
I totally agree.
Yeah, it's like.
All right. Well, thank you for taking some time to sit down with me and have, you know, the time to do the call and join on the podcast. So I appreciate you guys being here. And that's 15 with Royce. So thank you guys.
Thank you so much for having us.
All right. No problem.